everybody. This is Debbie from Wild and Woolly. Welcome to Bits and Bobs. We have a very special guest with us today. This is Beth Parrot. Hey, Beth.
Hi, nice to be here.
It's good to have you here. We are really excited, and I'll tell you for why. We've been chomping at the bit, waiting to start our sock classes again. Guess who teaches our sock class?
Well, I'm excited to start up again too because I get tired of sitting at home alone with my socks. It's much more fun to share them with people.
I know that our people are very excited. They're really, really looking forward to your class. And you can see behind us, we've been doing laundry all day. We have a whole washing line of socks behind us. The socks behind us are Beth's socks. And do you want to tell us a little bit about them, Beth?
Well, most of them are from one or another of the books that I co-authored with Charlene Church, who also was the author of Sensational Knitted Socks, which is a kind of a Bible. And I met Charlene because I was doing sample socks for her first book, and we collaborated from that point on. And we actually have done 3 books together. But the 2 that are here at Wild and Woolly are the box of socks, and some of the examples from that are shown over here. Oh, and this is like one of my favorites. And then the Sock Knitter's Handbook, and some of the samples from that are shown here with different styles of cast on, cast off, peel, gussets, etc. And then the 3rd book is Sock Club. And Sock Club is a collection of sock patterns from a total of 20 different sock pattern designers, including one from Charlene and one from myself. And the Knitter's Handbook, Sock Knitter's Handbook, is available in 2 different formats. The spiral bound hardcover, which lies flat, and the paperback, which is a little more portable. So that's a sampling of what I've been up to the last 10 years of playing with socks.
And let me tell you, Beth's sock books are our best-selling books, aren't they?
They are.
They are best-selling books, Beth.
I'd like to hear that.
How about that? So come on down and get your books.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people, we have classes, as I said earlier, with Beth, and we've got 3 classes coming up. We've got 2 intro to knitting classes on the 5th of October and on the 16th of October. And then we have actually a Christmas stocking class on the 30th of October. But when you sign up for our intro to knitting classes, when you sign up, you will see that there's a link in there to optionally purchase this book. And this is, like I say, the Bible for sock knitting from Beth and Charlene. And so I would urge you, when you're signing up for Beth's class, to buy this ahead of time and just peruse it a little bit. Wouldn't you think that would be helpful?
It's a very good idea, because then when we're talking in class, you've got a frame of reference to the different things. But we will also have most of the samples here, so that as we're talking about different types of sock architecture and construction, you'll be able to see them in the live and in the flesh, so to speak. And we'll be talking about the different sections of a sock. This gargantuan old sock that I made many years ago is to show you the different parts of a sock. So you've got a cuff and a leg and a heel flap in green and a heel turn in brown, and the decrease section, which is called the gusset, is yellow. The foot is in purple, and the tippy toe in blue. And finally, the Kitchener stitch to bind it off at the toe. So you've got actually 7 sections plus Kitchener. And you'll notice the sections that have little white threads in them those are the sections you can reinforce in a sock so it will wear better.
And this is a pretty glorious sock, I have to say that.
It's about a yard long, I think.
And then, Beth, if people sign up for your sock class, what will they be doing in your sock class?
Well, we'll be making a sample, probably about 32 or 36 stitches. And here's an example of what it will look like.
It's adorable.
And it's small enough that we can get it done in a modest length class. If you wanted to do a 2-color sock, we have a 2-color sample. And then if you wanted something a little bigger, by going to a larger yarn and a larger needle, you get a little more visibility, particularly if you have any difficulty seeing or understanding the instructions.
So you're saying that, are you saying that they're going to be making this size in class, or they can make this size
They
or
can
this
make
size?
either one.
Either size, okay. See that, people? You can make either size, depending what mood you're in. Now, your Christmas stocking, what does that look like?
Well, it's in process. So, or in progress, depending upon how you say that phrase. And it's got, I've just gotten to the point where I'm getting one more motif will go in here, and then we'll start having a foot. It would be better if I turned it on its side. There we go.
That's it.
Okay.
That's really pretty, people.
And it's really going to be interesting. This is the full-size version. In class, we'll be making a miniature of it that will be approximately the size of the pink sock. So you'll get both the miniature pattern and do that in class, but you'll also have the pattern for the large one to go home with you. And there will be accompaniment handouts with other motifs that you can modify the sock for your interests.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a space at the top here where you can either knit in a name or do a, I'm having a senior moment.
Duplicate stitch.
Thank you, duplicate stitch. Excellent.
So here's the beauty of the stocking class. As Beth was saying, you'll be knitting a miniature stocking that can be a beautiful ornament for you. But then, because of time constraints, she wants to keep it small so that you can learn all the skills involved. But then you take those skills and you can create whatever you want from that when they get home, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
And probably do more than one if they choose.
Yeah.
And have them each be unique.
Yeah, absolutely. You can make them for the whole street.
Well, at least the whole living room.
Yeah, the whole household.
Yes.
Right. So we're excited. We, as I say, we've been on pause for a long time about these classes, and Renata said she remembers her mom knitting Argyle socks for Dad. So Renata, maybe you should be knitting them for Frank. What do you think about that?
Or the cats.
Or the cats. And Mary Elizabeth, yes, think about it. Come on. Now's the time. What we'd like you to do to help us out here is to comment and share. And please let us know that you shared this video. If you share and you let us know that you shared in the messages, you will be eligible to enter into a drawing for this beautiful Malabrigo Maker sock yarn, single ply, absolutely scrumptious.
It is beautiful, and because I'm here, I'm ineligible.
That's right.
Darn.
Unless you go on your phone and log on.
No, that would not be fair.
So, Beth, what kind of skills does somebody need to attend your class?
First, they need patience with themselves and with me and with the yarn and all the parts. You need to have at least a minimum of experience of one project in the round before you come to class. That can be as simple as a basic hat, but it needs to be in the round. You can do it with double pointed needles, you can do it with 2 circulars, or you can do it with 1 long circular using magic loop. But you have to know how, not be experienced, but just have the minimum knowledge of knitting in the round. The other thing that you need to be aware of is that sock knitting is addictive. And you will end up with more sock yarn than you can knit. So be aware of that. And lastly, I think the reality is that there is one risk, and that is that some people have what they call second sock syndrome. And that means that you're going to be finishing the first one and start the second one and then put it down, and a year later you're wondering where that pair of socks went. So some people have a wonderful gambit where they cast on both socks at the same time and knit on both socks so that when they're done, they're done. So if you're a procrastinator like I sometimes can be, that might be for you.
So speaking of that, Beth, we've had a lot of people asking about that. Going forward, not for the intro, but going forward, would you be willing to teach a class on knitting 2 socks at once?
I'd have to learn how first. But I'm always willing to learn something new.
Yeah. Corinne Appleton said, hello, Beth.
Hello, Corinne.
Pat Schneider, I don't know if you know Pat, but Pat said hi.
Hi.
But I know you know Corinne.
Yes.
Yeah. So to be clear, Beth, this is not an intro to knitting class, right?
It's not an intro to circular knitting class.
No.
Mm-hmm. And it's certainly not an intro to knitting class, because if you haven't knit before, sock is the last place you want to be.
So you need to have DPN, circular, magic loop.
Any one of those.
Skill.
Doesn't have to be all 3.
Yeah.
But you need to know basically knit, purl, decrease, increase. And if you haven't done Kitchener stitch before, that I can teach.
Yes.
And one of the fun things about the knitting a sock is that I pointed out to you earlier that there are 7 or so sections of a sock, but each one is just one pattern. It's very simple. It's the fact that you go one after another, and you're changing each time that can lead to you feeling confused. But if you just take them one step at a time, socks can be very simple to knit.
But I think you're right. A lot of people don't think about taking it one step at a time. They look at the overall thing and say, "Gosh, I can't do that."
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Instead of being a little methodical about it. All right, Beth. When did you show them what this looks like inside?
I did not.
Oh, okay. I want to do that. Listen, people. This is Beth and Charlene's a little box of socks. Here's what's fantastic about this. First of all, it's got some awesome, they're not recipes, what are they? Patterns. It's got some awesome patterns in here. But when you open it up, I love this because these are little booklets that open up. They're like birthday cards. You get a birthday card with a sock on, and it got all the instructions that you need for each of these socks. So you can leave the box at home, and you can take your little birthday card with you, and that's all you need to carry around if you're making that particular pair of socks.
And they're laminated so that they're not going to get harmed bouncing around in your knitting bag.
It's awesome. It's really ingenious, to be honest with you. Don't you think?
I'm sad to say that they don't make them anymore.
I know. These now are, what do you call them? Collector's items.
Yes, they're out of print.
They're out of print.
Well, and just so that you'll know, one of the ladies who bought that yesterday, she's making socks for everybody in her family. And I'm not going to say her name just in case the family might be...
In case she doesn't get it done.
In case the family doesn't get it. But she's so excited. She's going to be using... each person's going to get a different sock from your box.
Oh, great.
That's really neat. Just one sock each?
Well I don't know about that. No, she'll probably get them done. Yeah. So, yes. And just tell Dottie about when the class is again, if you don't mind.
Dottie, the class is on the 5th. The next one is on the 5th, on Tuesday the 5th of October. The one after that is Saturday the 16th. Those are both intro to knitting, intro to sock knitting classes. And then the Christmas stocking class is on October the 30th. And you can sign up for them online on thewildandwoolly.com, or you can call us and register over the phone, or you can pop into the shop and we'll register you at the register.
And the link is in the comments.
The link to the classes on our website is in the comments. So you click on these and you can sign up for as many as you want to. We'll be happy to have you, won't we?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, Beth, do you want these folks out here to know anything else about socks or your classes or you?
Well, I'm interested to hear from your customers what kinds of classes they would like to have, particularly some of the things that I'm thinking of doing. I have a workshop that I've done in the past that's on I-cord, several different methods for I-cord, and in the course of about a 2 or 3 hour class, we can make a wonderful potty holder, and you'll learn 5 different kinds of I-cord.
That's awesome. And actually, speaking of I-cord, we were playing with this hat today, this little pumpkin hat, and it's a little stem. If you're wondering what an I-cord is, this little stem is an I-cord right here. And it's a great way of knitting. You knit a lovely tube, right?
Yes.
Call it a tube. You knit a nice little tube here, and you can create all sorts, even down to holding your pajamas up. Right?
Yep.
So that would be a great class. Let us know if you're interested in an
fact,
I-cord class. Oh, is that I-cord too?
There's
awesome.
Another example of something that I've been up to. I had this wonderful water bottle, but it's no handle and no way to hold it, no way to carry it. So I decided I was going to make me a carrier, and I did it in brown sheep. I forgot the name again. Well, it'll come back to me. But
Wool.
Wool, and it.
She said it earlier, and I can't think of it either.
Yeah, and of course you knit it like twice as big as your water bottle, and you throw it in the washer with some hot water and a couple of teaspoons of baking soda, and of course the handles are I-cord. What I did when I made the top was that I built buttonholes into the top piece and then picked up the stitches around the buttonholes and knit the I-cord from there, and then
Smart.
grafted it at the other end. So if this is something that you'd be interested in learning how to do, I'd love to. And this is I-cord, and there's a short one and a long one, and now I can carry it. I can hang it from my purse. I can put it over my shoulder.
Yeah.
And my water bottle's with me all the time.
Listen, people, if you're interested in this class, let us know, because frankly, this is a sweet, sweet carrier here, and very clever. And that was a pretty good idea to make buttonholes and knit your I-cord up from your buttonholes. That's why she's the knitting teacher.
Well, that's why I appreciate the chance to be here.
So if you're interested in us generating a class for the bottle holder, or generating a class for anything, just a regular I-cord class, or maybe incorporate the I-cord class into this, let us know, because Beth has a very large skill set. She can address almost anything you want her to, knitting wise, right?
Yes. And of course I can do a few other things too, but I won't necessarily admit that I was a banker before I retired.
We didn't hear that.
Okay.
All right, so what do you think?
I think I'm looking forward to meeting folks at the first sock class.
Yeah.
And I hope to see some of the others there as well.
Yes, and Beth won't tell you this, but I'll tell you this. She's an awesome woman. She's a fantastic teacher. So don't have any hesitations about coming to meet her, because you'll be glad you did.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Absolutely. We're glad to know you. So people, Take good care. Remember, comment and share for your chance to win this awesome Malabrigo Maker sock yarn.
Is there a time limit?
It's our time limit.
Last week was 10 p.m.
Oh, time limit for this. Yes, 10 p.m. You have until 10 p.m. to sign up to win this sock yarn. Yes, I thought you meant you were cutting me off. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you, Beth,
And
for
thank
joining
you
us.
for having me, and you all be safe and well.
Take care. Oh, Renata said she was a banker too. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
No, we didn't know that, Renata. Come and take a sock class. All right, bye, people. Take care.